viewers out there, you're welcome to our Monday edition of Sports Orbit. My name is Alpha Acho. Salif Usman is also here in the studio with me. Welcome.
Thank you, Ashu.
All right. On today's edition of the program, we'll begin straight from the issues surrounding the AFCON qualifier between Nigeria and Libya. Recall that Nigeria were faced two very harrowing situations on the return leg of their AFCON qualifier, where they had won 1-0 in Uyo, of course. But over the weekend, CAF, while most Nigerians had waited for the decision of CAF, finally a decision was made during the weekend. But Libya, not being satisfied with that decision, have decided to go on appeal to see if those decisions could be overturned. Around, of course, some of it included Nigeria being awarded 3 points and 3 goals in that match, and of course Libya are also required to pay a fine of $50,000 within 60 days. But it appears the Libyan Football Federation are not happy with that decision. But I'm really wondering what they were expecting CAF to say, because for me, in fact, some people are saying, look, CAF, this is not even enough considering the treatment that the Super Eagles faced through. But Libya, in their own opinion, feel that, look, Nigeria would have been punished and not them, irrespective of the fact that we were very clear evidence given by the pilot of the plane and all of that. So I really don't know if their appeal has a chance of surviving in any courts anywhere in the world.
Well, I think they are trying to exercise their normal rights.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever any decision is, so even the CAF open their window that they have 10 days to appeal the decision. So I think they are trying to not be just silent on it, try to exercise their normal right in, and I believe that it's just being exercising futility, because obviously there's no how. Somebody even suggested that I think it is even good that they appeal, and I hope that by that appeal, maybe the higher court, or if they appeal to the CAF or about anybody that maybe they even increase the fine.
Exactly.
I think
most, in fact, just like they do in athletics, most times when you appeal fails, if you are banned for 2 years, they now increase it to 10 years.
Okay, I think maybe the Supreme Court or the area of the education body maybe will say, maybe the CAF Disciplinary Committee was even lenient to the Libya, and even my appeal, I think they were even lenient.
Because some were saying, in fact, strip them of even playing home games in Libya.
Yes, that would have even been not just the $50,000. I quite agree with you. I think the best job first and foremost, we commended CAF to standing with the truth and not trying to patch it, or not trying to have a blind eye on the obvious fact that was before everybody. And the most important thing is that those North Africans, I use that word very carefully. Those South Africans sometimes, they're trying to show that they have the upper hand when it comes to the African football, particularly maybe because the CAF headquarters is resident in Egypt, and they appear to have, they are not sometimes they appear to have more people in the executive committee of CAF. They're only trying to show that they have the upper hand, and I thank God that the CAF, in their wisdom, and even from the president of the CAF speech during the annual general assembly of the Confederation CAF, we're quite aware that most of the CAF officials were not happy with the situation. You recall Peter Musabe make it clear that and warn all the other African nations that please, football is all about brotherhood. Football is all about friendship. And when your friend is beating city or home, you have to be very kind and be hospitable to your friend that is coming to your home. But instead of it to be too hostile to your friend, and he make it clear to the African nation to understand that. And it's good that the CAF come out clearly. And I believe that this should serve as deterrent to any other body who have not its ambition to believe that this idea of saying I'm trying to play a smart game or trying to frustrate your opponent not to come to your home and play well. This not have to play in another game. Instead of
you put the lives of people at risk.
All this energy you are displaying or channeling to play this gaming game, channel that energy to prepare your player well, and play your game well. And I quite agree with the point you just raised. I think CAF could have been even with more. Instead of finding them the $50,000 and asking them to stop them from playing home, at least for the next 2 years or 3 years, that could have served them well. But it's good that they are saying they are going to appeal. Maybe that would give an opportunity for the higher court to look at it. That no, even CAF was too lenient. I think you need to be stripped from playing your home matches in the next 2 years or 3 years.
a good thing that if you are appealing to CAS, I mean, we know that CAS is peopled by a lot of Europeans and white guys who would not tolerate such.
Yes.
So, like you said, they might just end up making the case
Yes,
even worse.
and what really help their case is the pilot.
Exactly.
And the good thing is that the pilot is also an Arab,
yes.
from a Tunisian.
Tunisia, yeah.
So and there's no how a Tunisian Arab, either because of business or whatever, who cited Nigeria. Because there was one commentator from Egypt, the Arab commentator, that said the Arab camp in Africa should kill behind the Libya. But the pilot was very clear in his analysis.
Because his life was at risk. Don't forget this pilot has families too.
Yes, his own life was at risk. Yes, thank you.
How can you say that you're complaining of lack of fuel? This is not like I said, flying airplanes are different scenario. It's not like a car that you say your lack of fuel that it stops on the road. You carry a jerrycan and go and buy. Exactly. Exactly. But a plane.
Yes.
Fuel finishing the air. What was the next thing? The plane crashed. So the pilot's life was at risk too. So there was no way he could have said that Libya were right.
And the gentleman make it fervently plead.
Yes.
Speaking in your own language, you understand. Both of you are Arab. Please, I'm short of food. Pleaded, but you insisted simply because you want to punish Nigeria for the part.
We'll see what comes out of that the appeal and see how it goes from there. Anyway, to the Flying Eagles, well, we'll congratulate them first for booking their ticket to the 2025 African Cup of Nations after they overcame Nigeria 3-1 over the weekend. Of course, heading into that weekend, they were supposed to play Cote d'Ivoire, and it was a make or mar match. And I remember giving a preview here. Yeah, exactly. You know, for me, I wasn't really too confident, but lo and behold, they triumph over that one. And of course, yeah, exactly. Then also defeated Libya and now in the under 20 AFCON for next year.
Yes, congratulations to the very led squad. At least, just like you see, we're almost on the brink of getting out of the coaching, even already qualifying for the AFCON. But the boys and the coaching crew and everybody understand that, including Nigeria Football Federation, understand that if we lose this qualification, it is very detrimental, very, very dangerous for our progress in the game of football. This is the championship we have dominated for years, and it came out of system. We will not even get to qualify for the competition. But it's good that they were able to stabilize the situation, just like you say, get the result they needed against the Cote d'Ivoire, beating Cote d'Ivoire 2-1. That gave them a better goal difference, better goal difference ahead of the Burkina Faso, who earlier beat them in their opening match, and then Burkina Faso was eliminated from that competition and then progressed to the next round of the competition and then ultimately beat Nigeria in the final 3-0 ended, and that has qualified them for the AFCON properly, and we hope that those ball and that's an opportunity now for Jubiru and especially to properly stream the team and look at the team and make sure that the team is well organized and stream well, and at the same time some of the players that people have also raised question in terms of their Asian playing program, it has to look at it. Yes, in as much as we want to win, the winning must not be the focus.
Exactly.
The focus must be developmental progress. What is the game of assembling an over 8 player? You win the competition, and then 2 years later, those boys are nowhere to be found.
Exactly.
We need the players that can stay in the league, that stay in the game of football for a very long time.
Moreover, the tournament is next year, so I believe that before that time, a lot of new players must have emerged.
We hope so.
Yeah, exactly. And some in the current team might even be overaged next year. You know, so
yes, but just for and Jubiru being a local coach and somebody for coaching the league, but that's our opportunity for him to look inward, looking within our territory, looking the academy, and looking at not limiting your share slight to the Premier League, looking at even the National League or even the nationwide league. There are some young players and better players who you can feel can be brushed up and then be part of the team.
Right to other stories now, where former Super Eagles head coach Samson Siasia has revealed he is in talks with clubs in South Africa. Siasia recently served a 5-year ban imposed by FIFA for breach of ethics. Of course, initially it was rumored of him taking over Mighty Jets, but I don't know how that fell through. Could it be issues of remuneration? But from what he's saying, that he's been in talks with some clubs from South Africa about taking over the managerial position.
Well, we wish him well. Sam Shastra is one coach. It's one coach, if not even the one of the top coach that is being loved by most of Nigerians based on statistics and based on TRC. After serving the van, me, I would have loved to see Sam Sham coach in our local league.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's become pretty difficult for him to even get job within the Premier League. There are many Premier League who are not with a reputable coaches. Why
Well,
not?
I feel maybe it could be issues of maybe money
remuneration. Just like
yeah.
even the match yesterday played in the nation one in the lower.
And he was ready to take up that job.
He was ready to take up that job, but I think I'm not right. The big clubs should also look and find way. I don't know. Maybe just like you say, maybe because of able to meet his terms of contract and whatever. But let's see if he get the opportunity in the South Africa. It's obviously on the table, and they were able to finalize it on the table and then get the job. We can't wait to see him standing on the ball again.
Yeah. All right, to some MPFL news now, where Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa has blamed poor officiating for Kano Pillars lost to National United on Sunday. Of course, blasted referee, and for him, he said, "Look, if this is how things will continue, then playing in the MPFL is a waste of time, and this will not encourage other players who are planning to return." You recall that initially he had commended the level of improvement in the game officiating, but I think his side tasted a bit happy when it comes to officiating, and he's really not happy about it.
I think it is one of those cry where the players where it goes your way. It's fantastic.
Yes.
When it go against you, it becomes awkward. I think Musa should also urge his playing mate to get more action than to blame the players. If you lost 1-0, you shouldn't be much concerned about play. You went to we analyzed about the 4-3 defeat of Rangers last time. Even that officiate, some people also called the referee to question about the we hardly heard Musa complain that day because he went on his way. But now it's now against him, he's not crying foul. But one thing that is left for the organizers of the league and those that are concerned, both the Premier League, even Nigeria Football, and even the Nigeria Referee Association, to look at those. Because this question this crime has become frequent.
Exactly.
Apart from Musa, not Musa, the other day we had
season after season
Emmanuel Amuneke.
Exactly.
Also complaining that he lost bitterly to Bayelsa United because of poor officiating. So this crime has becoming frequent. So the league ball and the Nigeria Football Federation, as well as the Nigeria Referee Association, and those who need to sit down and look at it holistically and begin to fish out bad referee in the Premier League.
Yeah. All right, now let's move on to results. Interesting matches went down in the course of the weekend. We have those results. Let's take a look at it. All right, so for Katsina United, it was a draw, 1-1 draw, that is with Niger Tornadoes, Abia Warriors defeating Bendel Insurance, Nasarawa United 1-0 over Kano Pillars, while Eyimba defeated Ikorodu City 2-1, Atlant FC 1-0 over Remo Stars. Well, it looks like Amunke is beginning to get some results in that one. Plateau United biggest winners of the weekend 3-0 against Sunshine Stars. Rivers United playing an all-out 1-1 draw against El Kanemi, while Shooting Stars defeated Aqua United 2-1 in that other encounter. Well, I think the match that stands out for me, Heartland defeating Remo Stars. We had previewed that match. For me, Remo Stars being a very tough team, but they fell 1-0 to Heartland.
They were even leading the league, and at the same time, looking to me, I think the 1-0 victory against Remo clearly showed that Emmanuel Amuneke has proved his credential that yes, he is not just anyhow coach. And then like give him some time, we begin to see the colors of Heartland under Emmanuel Amuneke. To me, that's fun. Not mind playing at all, but that's a fantastic result.
Of course.
Getting the victory against Remo Star is one of the Remo Star is one, if not the only club that is well motivated and well organized and well functioned in the Nigeria Premier League. And another I told you last week. I told you last week when we played the match. I think El Kanemi Warriors. If you look at that team. You may not see them as a top contender in the league, but this is their year to lose.
Of course.
They know they will, even if you come there at home, you can't beat them. And no matter how they travel to all the way to Port Harcourt and force River United to do 1-1 draw. So if you need the judge, will not find answer against Remo El Kanemi. They should get a draw. So that's fantastic. So you begin to watch out for El Kanemi in the Nigeria Premier League. This team has begun to do getting fantastic results. They hardly like to just even as well they're not winning, but they're picking 1 point anywhere they go.
Of course, other matches we played today, Lobby Stars will be in action against Bayelsa United. Another chance for Amokachi to get his first win since his return to the MPFL.
Yes, fantastically.
Right, we'll move over from that to some other stories, this time talking about the Ballon d'Or, where of course it was revealed that Ronaldo refused to vote in this year's edition of the Ballon d'Or. Well, a lot of speculation. Some have said maybe because he wasn't nominated or whatever, so he doesn't feel the need to vote. But I mean, Messi wasn't nominated. First time none of them will be on the Ballon d'Or list in 21 years. You know, that's an incredible record. But I mean, he and Messi will realize that, look, when it comes to football, there has to come a time where you definitely leave the stage. I mean, a lot of youngsters springing all over the place, likes of Yamal, Vinicius Junior, Bellingham, a whole lot of them. So you don't expect to be at the top forever.
Yeah, I think whatever is Ronaldo's reason, to me, this is not good for him.
Yeah.
Being he's a legend in the round, like in the game of football, and he has made his mark. There's nothing left for him to put in the football. But if to the extent for him to stay up there for many years, people supported him and people encouraged him. Okay. So it's now his turn to also support others and encourage others. So because you are not listed, I don't know his rule, because you are not listed and you refuse to vote for the young players who are also listed for this competition. And if you look at your within his category, none of players that are listed for the Ballon d'Or are his category. None of them are his mate. So these are the younger players. It's not left for you. People who are supporting, people who are here, praising you, voting for you to win the award. And now it's not your turn to vote for others to also win, and you decline from voting. To me, that is not a good attitude and it's not a good business at all for Ronaldo.
Of course, still on the Ballon d'Or, where of course it was revealed that a leaked version of the top 10 was released. Well, we'll see how that pans out. But from what we have, it looks like the award went to Vinicius Junior, with Rodri of Spain and Man City coming in second place. Of course, Vinicius Junior leading with 630 points, while Rodri has 576 points. Jude Bellingham at number 3 with 422 points. Kylian Mbappe 317, while Harry Kane makes up the top 5. Haaland not even being in the top 10 from where I see he's at number 6. And then of course Yamal there in 7th place. And so I mean, for Vinicius Junior, a lot of people had looked at it. For me, I felt it was between Vinicius and Rodri, and of course they are number 1 and 2, as you can see.
Well, even as much as if you look at this the table and what we are seeing on the screen here, even though it's not an approve from the organizers, this is a league function of the voting, and I think tonight what will be likely go 6 to 9 may not be far different from what we are already seeing.
I can't remember. I remember. Was it last year or 2 years ago? There was a leaked version, and it was exactly like that.
So what we are likely going to see in the night will not be far from what we are going to see, because a lot of people have already took Vinicius to a match. So, but let's go on to how it's going to happen in this night. But obviously, it can't be far from here. But another thing I'm still surprised is that is Haaland coming in distant 6th position. And looking at what Haaland has done last season and what he is, and look at the other players that are top of him. For instance, like Harry Kane, for instance, and even Juve did well in Real Madrid. But if you're looking at the performance last season, they have done better than what Haaland achieved last season?
No, for me, I don't even really have a problem with Bellingham. You could say, okay, Madrid won 2 major trophies. He contributed. But for Harry Kane, Bayern won nothing. Though he scored plenty of goals. You know, so for me, maybe Haaland would have been in that position.
At the same time, even Kylian Mbappe, he's achieved. There's not. You can't really point out what he achieved last season.
From the French title.
Even the French title, his relationship with the PSG, he was not able to. He was always up and all with the PSG team last season. Apart maybe, and even his performance at the Europe Championship was not yet because of the injury he sustained when he played the opening match. So he was not really be able to stand out clearly, and he was also voted ahead of Haaland. But it's all about voting, depending on who your mind go for. Just like the normal politics voting. So the best candidate may not wait some time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to some La Liga news now. Of course, that well anticipated El Clasico, first of the season. Well, against all what some of us thought was going to be the outcome, it turned out very differently. Barcelona defeating Real Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu, and of course, manager Ancelotti has blamed their failure on his players' failure. Yeah, no, it was at
the Bernabeu.
Yeah, exactly. It was at the Bernabeu, and and Ancelotti has said, his players failed to convert chances. I thought he was quite right. I watched that match in the first couple of minutes, 15-20 minutes. Madrid were pressing. In fact, had a goal ruled off for offside by Kylian Mbappe, and it seemed like Madrid were going to run away with it. But somehow, I really don't know what magic Hansi Flick did, and it was 4-0. And for when Barca signed Hansi Flick, some of us were like, look, he's going to turn Barca into a different team, knowing what he did at Bayern. In the space of 1 week, Barcelona trashed two big teams by high score lines. Beating Bayern 4-1 and Madrid 4-0. That's 8 goals against two top teams in the world. So, I mean, credit to this Barcelona side, and of course, people are beginning to, tip them for the La Liga, and by extent, might go away to win the Champions League.
Yes, I quite agree. I quite agree with you. Looking at the Flick, and if you look at it, when he come to us during the summer, and you look at it, has he really done any major buying?
No, exactly.
You can't really find out most of any major player.
These are all service players.
He's still Xavi player that is making use of it. It's clearly shown that experience matters a lot, and it's clear he has really proved himself. But looking at that match against Madrid and Barcelona, I think this match didn't go down well with many people, particularly those who are playing Betty over the matches. I think this match caught a lot of people tickets.
Exactly.
Because nobody could have predicted that it's going to go this way. If you have even predicted Barcelona will win, but not by this goal match. And looking at the form of Barcelona, and look at the average of stars in Madrid, particularly their front line and their midfield, you can't even predict that with a full confidence that Barcelona is not going, except you're a Barcelona fan. But surprisingly, the first half ended this goal, and within the second half, 4 goals on the line in the second half, in a team that paraded the Ballon d'Or to be player, Kylian Mbappe, name them.
They're all there.
They were all there, and so far, with another legendary coach, so far for 4-0 within the second half. So, what fantastic result, and we hope that Barcelona has already proved themselves, and I think the Barca manager, the president particularly, will be so much excited that when he sacked Xavi, people will think that, why are you sacking Xavi, a coach that will win you a title this season? That his decision has proven right.
Of course, talking about sacked coaches, of course, not just a few hours earlier, of course, that report broke out about the sacking of United manager Erik ten Hag. A lot of us saw it coming, especially after that defeat to West Ham. All along, Ten Hag has just been buying time, even the other win last weekend, but it was just a matter of time before the board got fed up with, and of course this afternoon they did what a lot of fans have been calling for.
So you mean the God get fed up with that?
No, I mean the board. I mean
the
United board.
United
board. No, United board.
Well, I think talk of Ten Hag, I think it's long overdue.
Yeah.
Just like he was buying time. Some of us, even though not even a Man U fan, we expected that Ten Hag has to go last season.
Yeah, exactly.
But we expected that he has to be sharp even before the end of last season. But my United started patient with him and holding on with him, hoping that things will get better. Till the end of the season. And surprisingly, he become the champion of FA Cup, and that convinced the board as well. Let him give him another time.
Yeah.
But from day one of this season, he has to also begin to prove that decision of giving that second shot was not the right decision. For me, it's good now. This is just match number 9.
Yeah, match number 9.
Match number 9
into 10 next weekend.
Going to 10 this week. I think it is now better
that
better that my United board decided to take a decision, and probably they can submit the situation that will wait to the Libya. So the Hag has to go. Whatever it calls them to let him go, I think it's better to take that option than to manage it.
Of course, let's take a look at EPL results. Interesting matches during the weekend. Of course, we'll begin from the match everyone was looking for to. There was Liverpool up against Arsenal. This time 2-2. It ended in that one pulsating encounter. It was And of course, some Arsenal fans are crying foul, saying it was a narrow escape for Liverpool, and of course the last minute disallowed goal, but which clearly after VAR replay, that was clearly an infringement. Initially, I thought it was offside, but it was a foul on the Liverpool player. But a good match it was, a tight match, 2-2. It was, and of course for some of us, I think, and this really it was a fine test for Liverpool. This has further strengthened their bid for a title, which from the way they are going with Ancelotti, I think playing some good football. Who knows? Maybe they might just go all the way.
Yeah, you can see that yet to test a defeat clearly shows that they are.
No, they've tested one defeat.
Okay, I've lost.
I think in their fourth match or so.
They lost one, but I think Manchester United overtake Man City overtake them to the top of the table.
The problem, Man City has a couple of 3 draws or so.
Yes, and even Arsenal now, and Arsenal without the draw yesterday, Arsenal have dropped. Let's say Arsenal have dropped 6 points, almost 9 points in this season because they lost to Blackburn. Baltimore.
Yeah.
Lost to Baltimore. Draw with Tottenham. Draw with Man City, and then draw with Liverpool again. Now that is a cumulative point of 9 points missing there. And if you're looking at the top of the table, Man City as it still stands, thanks to the provincials, is still Man City are now leading on the table. Although with one point ahead of Liverpool, Arsenal is on in the distant. What I mean by the distant third position because of the point difference. Arsenal is just 18 points. That means 5 points. 5 points.
Gradually widening.
5 points between them and the top table, and that's clearly shows that Arsenal is beginning to losing ground, and Arteta and his team has to be very, very careful. Exactly. People are looking up to Arsenal this season that based on their consistent back-to-back second place finish behind Man City, that this season should be Arsenal's season to be able to catch up. But unfortunately, the way Arsenal and the Arteta and his players are beginning to go, first we're blaming the injury, and at the same time the indiscipline of the players also caused them. Like yesterday, the defense master, the Sullivan was not part of that team. If you are part of that team, maybe we would have had a different result. And the captain is still being missing, and several other players are still on the injury list. And with this couple losing in a league that is very competitive. If you drop any point, we mean that you are losing ground. And Arsenal is losing ground gradually, and as they are losing ground, Man City is gaining the ground.
Exactly. Because other results showed, of course, we said that West Ham 2-1 over United, Crystal Palace winning over Tottenham in that London derby, while Chelsea did well to secure all 3 points against Newcastle, Everton, Fulham. All square was 1-1. That is Manchester City, Southampton, a slim 1-0 victory. Brighton, Wolverhampton 2-2, Brentford beating Ipswich Town 4-3, while Villa, Bournemouth 1-1 was. Then Nottingham Forest beating Leicester City 3-1 at home in that one.
Yeah, for Chelsea, to me, congratulations to Chelsea.
Exactly.
Chelsea, and I think this Marascas is going to prove, but it's going to
now in fifth position, 17 points.
It's proving right. I
exactly.
think the best coach, the right decision that been taken by the Chelsea at the end of the during the summer, and it's beginning to pay them well. But people like me, I never expect Chelsea to put the kind of performance they're putting on this season.
Exactly. All right, that's that for the EPL. With that, we draw the curtain on today's edition of Sports Orbit. We didn't mention, of course, for the Flamingos, it wasn't too a favorable outing against USA 2-0. It was at the end of the day, so out of the tournament,
end
of the road. Yeah. All right, we'll call it a day on today's edition of the program. During the week, we'll be back with another fresh and exciting edition of Sports Orbit. Do join us once again. Salifu, thank you for being on today's edition of the program.
Thank you, Ashley.
Until we come your way, do have a wonderful week ahead. My name is Afa Achua, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have